Hey guys, Kev here, and I have a new knife from Liong. It has been a minute since I've checked out a new Liong design knife. This is the KUF 3.5. This is a left-handed version in bead blasted titanium. Oh, I was kind of expecting the carbon fiber that he used on the original models. It says made in China, Riot Knives for Liong design, by Riot Knives. So very cool. I have checked out a bunch of Liong knives in the past. There's a little thing here from Liong if you want to read that. I've checked out a bunch of stuff from Liong in the past. It's just been a while. Feels like it's been a couple of years, so I'm excited to check this out. The 3.0 KUF was one of my favorite knives. The 4.0 was nice. It was just huge. So this is right in the middle at 3.5. Nice pouch here. And we are going to get a sealed bag. So this is a sealed bag from Riot. So there is no way, I guess, that this was QC'd. But that is a fairly standard thing with people who use Riot. They just trust Riot. And I think maybe they figure customers want to have that experience. I don't know. But I'm just mentioning it. It is the same size, I guess, as the KUF 2.0, I think was 3.5 inches. And we are pretty much dead centered here. Looking good. This is, if it's like the original KUFs, which it is quite different, this is a monoblock construction. So the first people that I know of that did that is Strider Knives, and Liong started doing it with the KUFs and the Field Duty EDCs. And you can see here, it's basically a monoblock in the sense that the backspacer is part of one of the scales. So it's not necessarily a clamshell, it's not an integral, it's not a standard, it's a monoblock. So this front show scale also includes this back strap, back spacer type piece. And then there's a thinner scale that is on the other side. So you can see the line right here. That's where they connect. Really well done by Riot. The machining is excellent. You have a pretty short clip with the ceramic ball. I like that the ball does not stick out on this side. We'll see how it works. The balls usually are a little bit tricky because they catch coming out of the pocket because it's a very specific contact point. We'll see how it goes. We have a external relief cut. It is a frame lock, which is cool. This is in Magna Cut, and again, it is from Riot. It looks to be maybe a little wider than the KUFs of past. It may just be, I'm thinking of the 3.0. The 4.0 was wider. I don't know. Let's see how the flick is on this bad boy. Ooh, that felt pretty good. Ergonomics feel very good as well. And the size is pretty good. We have smooth action, really good acoustics. Yeah, that's pretty nice, folks. Let me see if I can thumb flick it. Yep, I can thumb flick it. We have a standard frame lock, so we have a detent ball, which is nice. Kind of funny these days. It just seems like, you know, a lot of people are doing non-detent type locks, and so I just have to hope that we're getting a detent most of the time. Very nice. We don't have any access cut back for lock bar access, but we have a nice chamfer on both sides, so your finger fits in there real easy. You don't need that access on this knife. It fires out pretty well. It doesn't feel like a super strong detent. I mean, it's good. No lash or anything, but it just comes out of there really well with this hole shape. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, or it's been a couple years. When I originally designed the Stout, I actually took some inspiration from Liong. So I don't know if you'll see it at all. The hole shape was one of the things, I think. More, I think the field duty. I like the hole in that, just not like the one in the field duty is really big, I think. He likes these big windows. I like them a little bit smaller so that my finger kind of gets squeezed in there. Not squeezed, but like, I don't know how to explain it, but it just feels more comfortable to me than having a window where I can stick my finger farther into. This one is a good size though, feels great, but definitely had some inspiration from Liong when it came to the stout. And like I said, it's been a few years. You know, I guess that would have been the KUF 3.0, whatnot. That might have been 5 years ago at this point, 4 years ago. So a lot of things have developed and changed since then. It's interesting to think about. But yeah, I want to give Liong a little bit of credit there. He was one of the inspirations when I drew up the original stout, which if you guys have ever seen the drawing, it's hideous. Colin's the reason that knife looks passable. It just happens to be a fantastic EDC knife. You know, woo! This thing is legit, folks. This is a really good one here from Liong. He absolutely killed it. Now, usually with Liong Ma, you're looking at, you're not talking about affordable knives. You're talking about well-built quality knives. The level of detail and stuff like that, the design elements, you're talking about a Sharp by Design kind of level of execution, if that makes sense. Now, Riot is executing it, but Liong's design is just really, really nice. I kind of put him and Sharp by Design together, and then I would put Knoll Knives kind of right up in that tier as well. I'm sure there's others I just can't think of at the current moment, but I mean, it's a pretty short list for that like top tier knife design. Just really, really classy, really good lines, and they just seem to get the best execution out of Riot. And I think a lot of that has to do with the design. I think a lot of that has to do with the hours spent in Fusion 360 or 365, whatever it is. I can't remember if it's 360 or 365. It's 360. Liong Ma knives. So let us check out some cool stuff here. Come on now. Liong Ma design. We have a bunch of models here. We're looking for the KUF kitchen utility folder. Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned that. That's what KUF stands for. Kitchen utility folder. So it's kind of designed as a knife that could be used in the kitchen. He actually was a chef, or is a chef. But I'm not sure if he still is or not, honestly. But that was his profession. So here's a look at it. They do have, it looks like the 3.0 still, or they've made more. You're talking about $299 on the KUF 3.5. That's pretty sick right there. I don't know how long these have been available. So, you know, let's see. KUF 3.5. Do they have the lefty option, or is it separated somehow? Now, obviously, this is a left-handed knife, but the knife comes normally in righty. Liong has always... Oh, right here. Liong has always made an effort to give lefties an option, and I've always appreciated that from Liong. So, shout out to Liong Ma for that. Where high-end cuisine meets survival. So $340 for this lefty version. So if you're left-handed, $340. I think it's a good price for this knife. If you gave me just a Riot-made titanium folder with Magna Cut, sure, I'd probably be like, yeah, I wish it was $300, right? But when you're talking about a Liong Ma design, like if you just look at the construction, it looks like an integral, right? Now it's not, but it still takes a lot of precision machining to pull that off. It's all pinned together, so it's like super sturdy as well. I've taken apart quite a few cuffs in my day, and they are very sturdy. Usually I have to pry it apart with a pry bar to get inside. And I may or may not take this one apart and put some skifferoonies in there like I usually do. But this feels fantastic. So like it almost doesn't feel worth it. The action is droppy. You know, I don't know what I would gain from it. I have no play at all in any direction. It's just going to smooth out more. We have a beautiful belt satin. This is a flat grind, but it is a, would you call this a full flat? I mean, it goes all the way up. It doesn't quite come up over here, but it does come up to the spine here. But look at that. I mean, it gets thin. This thing is going to be an absolute razor blade. If we take some U-line paper here that I am not good at cutting, we can see if I can do a decent job here. Yeah. And the ergonomics on it are just stupid. I mean, this one is a really good size. This is going to sound stupid, but I would love to see a KUF 3 1/4, I think. The 3 was too small, I think, for me personally. Like, it just got a little too small to be flicking comfortably. And this is good, you know? Like, I'm perfectly fine with this. But a 3 1/4 would be like my perfect sweet spot. That's what that Field Duty EDC was, I believe, was 3 1/4. I mean, look at this, dude. Look at that. S-cuts. Like, you know it's sharp when I don't... Oh, there it is. I knew I was going to make a mistake. But, like, that's also, like, roughed up, so that could be why. But, like, when I'm not struggling too much with it, you know it is extremely sharp. And has a great blade geometry. That's the other thing. Like, it's not just about Riot getting the grind right and sharpening it properly. Those are important. But it's also about the designed blade geometry. And Liong just, again, he's top-notch with that. And I would say he surpasses Sharp by Design in that element. Because he's a chef, you know, he knows knives. He knows what cuts. And so his blade shapes for me, his blade geometry is some of the best you're going to find, right? Again, he was an inspiration for me when we started Divo when it comes to the design language. You can kind of do that trick because it's left-handed. Man, this feels nice. I'm going to test out this pocket clip. I'm assuming it's going to be a little hit and miss, like it's going to be good going in, but it's going to be a little bit snappy coming out. Let's see. So it pops in. So it's the opposite. It actually works really well, but it does kind of pop over your seam because it's, you know, just that ball contacting the handle, where like you look at a regular milled clip, you have a more spread out contact point. So it has a little bit of material, has a little bit of ramp getting in the pocket, if that makes sense. Where this, you know, it's just going to have to get past that ball there. But it works, and it feels good in pocket. I like that. I like the size of the clip. You know, you're going to have a little bit sticking out. It is angled, so when it's in the pocket, it actually doesn't look too bad. You do have, you know, a decent amount sticking out, but I don't know. It doesn't bother me for some reason here. See, the detent is probably nice and early. Yep, right there. That's the angle. Absolutely fantastic. You clear it literally instantly, and you're shaking down. It's only going to get smoother as it breaks in. And the hole is big enough to get your thumb in there
and flick it, which is nice. Let me clean up the blade tang there. Man, I'm really tempted to take this apart right now and just skiff it up. But I know I'm going to have to pry it apart, and I don't necessarily want to deal with all that right now, but I kind of want to. Just feels so good, though. Oh, man. Excellent. So, yeah, guys, if you're left-handed, this is a no-brainer for me. It's definitely one you want to get in your collection if you're left-handed. If you're right-handed, I mean, I think it's also one that you want. I love Liong Ma's designs, guys. It's really nice to be kind of back looking at a Liong Ma knife. Feels good. The right-handed ones, $2.99. You have no excuse, in my opinion. You have no excuse. That is a ridiculous price. I mean, they technically have this claim 10% off, too. I don't know the deal with that. Maybe that would work for the lefties, because this is already on sale. They might not let you use that. But lefties, $3.40, you get 34 bucks up, you'd be right around that $2.99 anyway. Looks like they have Sezzle or Shop Pay. So you have options. Here is the 3.0. Is it still available? Yeah. So he did make more of those. Is it still in LMAX? Yeah. So these could either be from the first run or they could be a rerun. But he does have the 3.0. So if you like smaller knives, boom, he's got you covered there. Pretty much the same build. That's going to be right-handed. You have a G10 version of that for $2.99. Hey, man, no way. He still has KUF V2s? Yeah. Green micarta or carbon fiber. These have what we call the Teletubby. It's got the Teletubby flipper tab, dude. Check out my videos on the KUF V2. That is an underrated knife. Absolute classic, in my opinion. One of the best knives ever to be made. Believe me or not, it is fantastic. And with the Teletubby, it's like legendary. You can always get that chopped off by somebody if you want to, but I just think it's funny it's still there. That's awesome. Accessories. So, yeah, he's still got some cuffs, man. Let me see if I missed anything here. V2 carbon fiber, V2 green micarta, 3.0, 3.0, and then the 3.5. I think the only one that was lefty was the 3.5. So if you're like me, check it out. You can always look on secondary for the 3 if you need that small knife. They also had a 4 back in the day. All of which are extremely well made. There's no doubt about that when it comes to Liong Ma. So, yeah. Shout out to Liong. Thanks for sending this over, buddy. I have no idea if this is my knife, if he's letting me keep it, or if I have to send it back. So, there is that. I just don't know. So, I'm going to obviously assume I'm sending it back. I was just kind of happy when he was like, I'm sending you this knife. I was like, okay, sweet, dude. It looks good. I do really like the carbon fiber versions, but those are carbon fiber on one side and titanium on the other. So I do prefer when a knife looks the same on both sides, and so I really like this. I just love the thickness, like the height of the handle. It's got a little bit of height to it, but it really just feels comfortable in the hand. You have that 50-50 choil that I love. Yeah, really good jimping there. And a great deployment hole. Gotta get used to lefty knives again. I think I was on the lock bar there. Can I lock it up? Nope. I think I just made it a little bit stronger. No, I don't know. Gotta get used to that. The hole has plenty of grip. I think it's just a matter of me using a lefty knife. You know, it's been a minute. You can hear a little bit of grit. You hear that? Now, that's not an issue if I go ahead here and take this. And I don't know, maybe I'll decide to do a video disassembling this, but we'll see. I didn't get much on there, but what I'm going to do, since the detent ball kind of gets exposed there, I'm going to put this oil right in there. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit onto that detent ball. There it is. You hiding from me, buddy? Okay, and then I'm just going to work that in. See if I can't smooth that out a little bit. And we'll be able to tell pretty quick because the blade will not, we won't hear that grinding as much, and it'll just be smoother. I'll be able to tell anyway. So what I'm doing now is I put a little bit of oil there, right? And then I put my finger on the back side of the frame lock, which puts a little bit of pressure. Don't jam your finger down, but just put a little bit of pressure down on that lock bar. What is that doing? It's pushing that detent ball this way against the blade, so it basically is helping wear in a detent path on that belt satin, because that's what it has to wear through this satin finish. That's what that sound you're hearing is. It's the detent ball zipping across the horizontal satin. So let's see how that feels now. Yeah, definitely smoothed out. Still got a little bit of the sound, but that's just gonna be the way it be until that really wears in. But I mean, you can see how that blade drops. It just, whew. And you can hear the acoustics. That definitely changed. It is absolutely clacking. You're gonna wake up the whole house. Having that monoblock construction makes it kind of have sounds like an integral would. Yeah, it's super smooth now. Wow. What a cool knife, dude. Sick. All right, guys. I'll put a link down below to Liong's website. Check that out. Shout out to Liong. Thank you, dude. I'll hit him up and see what's going on with this. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Do I recommend this knife? 100% I recommend this knife. If you're left-handed, I think this is kind of a must-have in the collection just because, you know, we don't get that many lefty knives, although the more people use Riot, the more lefties we're getting. Riot and Best Tech now, people are seeing that you can get just a handful of lefties, and they're doing it, luckily. So we're seeing more and more lefties, which has been a great kind of development in the knife world lately. But this is definitely going to be one of the better ones. And if you're right-handed, $299. I mean, to me that's a steal for a Liong Ma design. I come from the days where, you know, you paid a premium for his stuff. Now, maybe it wasn't $340 because it was 5 years ago, back when, you know, that was probably too much for even a premium knife. But I think they were at least $300 back then. Maybe more. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I'm really curious, man. This was this took me back. And that was fun. So stay tuned. I might do a disassembly. If you guys want to see that, definitely let me know in the comments. That definitely helps me decide what to do. If you guys want to see it, I'll probably do it. You know, I'm probably going to do it anyway at some point if this is my knife. So that might be the determining factor. And yeah, I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll catch you later. Peace.